So if you've been watching my channel for a while and if you've been on YouTube or TikTok for a while, you're definitely going to have seen Just Pearly Things. And if you've not, then God bless your soul. Like yeah. Anywho, so apparently this young lady, she has been getting into controversies because she's a grifter, in quotes, and she's just more or less repeating talking points from popular people, popular red pill slash manosphere content creators. And yeah, she's on this podcast where she was pressed on some of those ideas, and you can see how she definitely falls apart. Now, I'm basically going to be reacting to not so erudite reacting to this because she made like a very interesting point that I liked, and I would also like to kind of like talk about because yeah, she has very very interesting takes, especially when it gets down to the psychology aspect of it of things. So yeah,
I want to know about
so,
you.
but I'm asking, like, why are you bringing this up when that's not really what my channel's about?
I
It's
can
like you're
only
just
ask you
picking
things
out,
that are about. This is interesting. I want to ask you about it. Why do I can only ask you things that are confined space by your channel?
you can, but you understand how that looks to me. It's like you're just trying to pick out every single.
Listen, Pearl. To be
controversy.
fair, to be totally fair, you could just say I don't think slavery was embellished.
Like I mean, you were
simple.
just
That's
talking
super
about,
easy.
like,
That's a layup for most people.
I was quoting a book. That's the crazy part. I was quoting a book.
So do you
it's
agree
like,
with his statement though?
Do I think overall it was embellished? Some parts, sure.
There it is. Which parts?
Some parts.
No, please tell me which part.
The thing is, she doesn't even understand what embellished means. Like, chill. Let's see. Let's see. Embellish. Embellish means to make something more beautiful by adding something to it. For example, the ceiling was embellished with flowers. Synonym, adorn, beautified. So she's not even using it in the right context. That's like in the first place. But I'm sure she's using it in the context of meaning it was exaggerated. That's it. It was exaggerated. Because I don't if she's saying it was embellished, I think the word actually works against her points, right? Because it's like if she says it was embellished, right, that means it was beautified, which someone else would definitely try to do. Someone else that's trying to glorify slavery would try to make it sound nice, right? Which the which I don't know how you can do that in the first place, but yeah.
Look, McFuentes was very on time, and he brought a very, very nice sparkle juice. There's no way he's racist, okay? He was extremely timely, well dressed, he smelt nice, and that grape juice that was sparkling that he brought was delicious.
Tell me.
I think that you can't. I think that certain slaves had good relationships with their owners. Not all, maybe not most, but I think some did.
And that just
And there are accounts of them saying this.
so some slaves had good relationships with their masters. Therefore, slavery was embellished.
You know how this is going to go for me. Like, I don't know why you're doing this. You know I can't have this conversation without them painting it a certain way.
Well, just own it then. Just do it. Just say what you want. You know what I mean? Just be red pilled about it. Who is they? I don't know who's they. Just your haters or someone?
The left.
The left.
Do they have parentheses around the day?
Like, I mean, you even came in, like, you researched, like, my family. Like, that's weird.
How's that weird? It's all public. It's stuff you talked about. You literally talked about it. It's called preparation.
Vash Stampede super chatted $5. Roots Thomas Soul Coot Yaroob short.
Roots Thomas Soul quote YouTube short. Okay.
Our roots. During the era of the massive slave trade from West Africa, a white man was more likely to catch malaria in Africa than to catch slaves himself. The average life expectancy of a white man in the interior of sub-Saharan Africa at that time was less than 1 year. By and large, men from Europe or the Western Hemisphere came to the coasts of Africa, bought their slaves, and left as soon as possible. Even so, the death rates among the white crews of the ships carrying slaves to the Western Hemisphere were as high as the death rates among the slaves themselves.
Well, I don't know about that, Sha. I mean, again, I'm not African, so there's also that. So I'm not very invested in the whole slavery thing. Yes, I know it affects me to some extent, right? Because I get to interact, and no one, most people, no one would really say, "Oh, this person is African or not." Like we're all black people, right? But there's definitely a difference between like the way we think and the way we see things, or the way we approach things. But yeah, talking about saying the way you put it, it might be accurate because it's like, let's say there were 100 slaves on a ship, right? And then maybe there were like 5 or 6 captains or crew members, or let's say there were like 10 crew members, and then 5 crew members dying on the ship on their way back is 50% of the crew. But 5, 10, 20 slaves dying is just 20%, right? So it could be accurate in that sense. So yeah.
It was only much later, after quinine and other medical measures enabled Europeans to survive where there were tropical diseases, was it possible for them to invade Africa in force and establish empires there. But by then, the Atlantic slave trade had already been ended. Despite the impressive
There's the context for that.
Yes,
Rachel,
exactly.
clearly
There
not-
is.
I didn't.
Like, you
talk
literally
about
do
it
no
with my mom. I
preparation.
didn't
You
talk
talk
about. I didn't talk about it with my.
Kraken's call super chatted $10. Do you think that Pearl and Rolo are using these types of interviews as a last-ditch effort to gain some sort of momentum in viewership? Are
Yes.
their channels at risk due to overreach?
I think their channels are definitely Pearl specifically. I don't think is doing very well in general. Who else did you ask about?
No.
Rolo. Probably as well. Rolo's been pretty stable and consistent though. He sits at like 1.6K during his live streams, and he's been sitting there like for a while from what I can remember, like looking back. I haven't looked at his social blade. I think Rolo's been pretty steady for a while. He's got a
Okay.
really,
This
really
doesn't.
solid base that's like sold out to him. Pearl, I'm guessing.
Yeah, this. I'm
You've been
not.
implying
I'm not-
earlier.
First of all, it is relevant that your mom is the president when you're
Bro,
talking about.
you didn't know any of the backlash I got.
Well, who cares? You said it. Just own it.
No,
Be
I'm
red
asking.
pill.
I'm asking. You didn't know any of the backlash
I didn't.
got.
I didn't know about it.
No idea, even though you got that from a video my
I
ex-co-host
don't. I
made
don't. I
about
don't
me.
think that's. I don't think that's
Right.
accurate.
Right.
See, like this is dishonest. It's not honest.
But what's the problem? You're getting backlash for something that
No,
you think.
but I'm
that
saying,
you
so
think.
you're like,
You
you're
think
not.
that. You brought your parents up when you were talking about hiring people, didn't you?
Yeah.
I said, I think it's a bit
You talk about your
disingenuous.
parents all the time. You talk about how your dad is rich. You did a tour of his whole barn with the bowling alley and recreational
Did.
stuff in it. Like, why am I not allowed to
But I'm
talk
saying,
about
like, you even just said that you knew. Like, because you got that clip from an like.
Okay,
you're
who
the
cares?
first one to say it.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? Let's say I didn't know about it to the extent that it was such an issue for you, but let's just say it was. I mean,
I do have to go though because I have a show coming up. So
okay, let's just end on this note.
Running away.
Slavery was embellished
We're
because some
running away.
masters had good relationships with their masters. Some slaves had good
She
relationships with
needs
their
to
masters.
go.
Just say no. It wasn't. I don't know. I don't know how hard. I don't know how hard it is to just say, you know what? I think I misspoke. I'm not sure. Like even saying I'm not sure. I think I misspoke. I think that's like the best thing to. I don't know why she's being so hard headed about the whole thing, because it's. And then she will cry and say, "Oh, they're trying to be disingenuous." And I know Ethan is. I find him funny. There are some things that he does that's very funny, and I'm not a very good yardstick for things that are funny because my humor is very very I have a light sense of humor. Like things, I find a lot of things very funny, right? So I'm not a very fantastic yardstick, but I just find it interesting that instead of her to just quickly admit or just say, okay, you know what, I messed up. I'm not sure. Simple. I don't know why she's doing all this.
All right.
But don't you see how easy it is to just say, I don't think it was embellished?
Man,
I don't think it's a
you
secret.
guys
Wait.
act just like I've been preached.
Like,
You
Pearl,
guys just like
wait, Pearl, I don't think it's a secret that some masters had good relationships with their slaves. I don't think that's a secret. There's been a whole
Okay, thank you.
still,
I really appreciate you having me on. But I'm gonna go. Thank you.
George,
Thank you.
okay, I
she's
appreciate it.
running away.
Okay. Have a good night.
She hung up.
Whoa.
I just don't understand why you can't.
She was panicking at the end there. Holy shit. What the
Okay.
hell?
First of all, I genuinely did not know that it was such a sore point for her. I mean, it is a crazy thing to say.
I mean, she gets backlash all the time for all the things that she says. Why is that?
Yeah, because she says very retarded shit.
That
She says dumb shit.
These copers. Why is the like slave apology off limits for her? Like, what? She gets backlash all the time for calling women whales. Why would slave apology and her relationship with Nick Fuentes be off limits? Yeah, these are the same.
I don't know.
I mean, I can guess because it's the same. But
like, I mean, yeah, that's it. But,
I'm gonna let the children out of.
you know, I tried to nail her down on things as I do here, but ultimately,
Chat, you're free.
Dude, I've been wondering what
What's
the
wrong with
everyone
that
did
guy
the whole
eating
time. I did not pay
chips?
attention because I just heard crunching.
There's a lot.
Oh, what the?
When the fuck
Wait,
did you
that-
get here?
well, have you been here the whole time? Who let this idiot?
It's popcorn. Oh, that's my favorite popcorn.
Who gave him food? That's our snacks bill. It's budgeted in.
Okay, don't care about your snacks. Okay, apparently she was on with MLD, so we'll see the copium on her side.
What up, guys? Welcome to the
I can't imagine her having MLD on. She's fucking crazy, man.
That was like
crazy. What are you doing?
that was like that was like Avengers Assemble right there. Having Just Pearly Things, MLD, Myron, Fresh, which other person? Rolo, Tomasi. I don't know if what's that other what's Marquez? I think it's Marquez. I think Marquez. Marquez would be like the it would be like the what's that guy's name? It would be Falcon of the we just have the Red Pill Avengers trying to defeat, and then occasionally Sneeko comes in. Yeah, it's like Sneeko is like the Doctor Strange. It would be very funny. There's a band of crybaby people trying to be tough. Anyhow.
That's like a big no-no for guys. Like, because we know boundaries that a guy naturally knows, like not talking or keeping communication with men you've slept with in the past. That's like a big no-no for guys. Like, because we know that dude is just a predator, just sitting around waiting for his chance to get another taste.
I understand that modern women today are just like trash, basically. But sometimes
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
There are good women out there.
Yeah,
there are
not
good
all
women
of
out
them.
there.
The mainstream is showing that women are trash.
But I think the problem is historically, none of the 95% of women would be disqualified. That's the crazy when you think about it. Like in terms of the last 1,000 years, 95% of women today would be disqualified.
Do you know what you said earlier? You said, how would a man know which girl to pick if he is not experienced? It goes the same way to a woman. How would she know what kind of man is a certain man if they don't experience?
I was hoping it was just him.
And made, right? Can you make someone fall in love with you? Like, I think
Fall in love with me.
a lot of side chicks would say you can't make someone do that.
Even the genie from Aladdin couldn't do that.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah, but allegedly they're saying he would like make women fall in love with him.
Well,
And
it's
so
funny
therefore
because
it's like he was controlling them.
a moment ago, yes, they were talking.
Are they talking about Andrew Tate? Don't they know that people can manipulate other? I don't know why these people do or say things like this. Like they sound retarded. They sound stupid when they talk like this. They sound very stupid when they talk like this. Like, you kidding me? Is it that you made people fall in? Yes, you can lie to people. You can lie. He has money. You can like woo somebody and lie to them. I don't know why this is news. Like part of the advice that they give people is to get them. I don't know, man.
About how women can be easily manipulated by pretty images.
Working on being less white. Natural phenomenon super chatted $5. Madam, you claim to care about people's mental health and yet you show us this interview.
That's true.
Isn't wanting to spend money, well, then that's exactly what he did.
But at the same time, do they have the same energy for the women that were manipulating men to get money? This is the crazy thing. This is not national news.
Who's doing it more? Listen, who's manipulating people to fall in love more? Men or women?
Probably women, but not quite. But let me go back.
I'll give you like a man did what women do. 50% of women say they've gone on a date for a free meal. Okay, yeah, 50% of women. Wait, 50% of women admit to this, and it's not national news. Nobody gives a shit. But when a guy manipulates women for money, it's national news. It's the Tinder swindler. Who's heard of him?
Yeah,
but I'm saying that happens. Women do that all the time. It's common through campsites. But it goes back to the theme that we do not have empathy for men in society. We don't.
Funny enough, to go to like prove the example that Paul was giving.
That was a very stupid thing for her to say, actually, because the Tinder swindler is almost different because he was scamming women like hundreds of thousands of dollars, traveling around the world. Like it was that bad. So if you're comparing that to normal women doing they're like, oh, they want to they have a man that takes them for brunch. That I don't know, that's like a very silly. Yes, they're in the same park, but it's very silly to compare those two things, right? It's like, yeah. And then another thing is, it's crazy that she's trying to defend because the allegations are that he uses these girls to scam men and then takes the money. So it's like you're condemning someone for doing the exact same. You're protecting someone and then condemning someone else for doing the exact same type of thing that the person that you're protecting was doing. It's just that they're just one layer removed. It's not the one that's directly doing it. It's the girls that he's using to do that. So I find that very like, I mean, but again, these people, um, integrity is not, their strong suits. So yeah.
Even I was watching an interview of Candace Owens talking about how
I just want to see her talk to
In the chat.
MLD.
Okay. But let me refresh it 1 second. Okay.
WMLD in the chat.
Okay. Okay. Now let's continue. Guys, all super chats from this point on over what amount? 25. What do you want to do? Over 30 over 30.
And 500 kicks off the Nova.
Yeah, 500.
One, like this guy's not being perfect. I'll just go out there and find another one. Get out there and find one. And all you're doing is like chipping away at your being and giving away a piece of your soul, purity one by one. And then you're not learning how to endure. You're not learning how to go through hard parts of relationships. You're not learning.
You're still doing the endurance. MLD, let it go. Oh man.
How to understand the number one skill you need in relationships.
To see like Pearl buddying up and working with MLD is just like seeing basically like the loser's ring of the red pill now.
Alex Feliciano super $3, $3
The D-list Avengers.
God bless you for doing the Lord's work, okay? God bless you. Oh man, it's just like the losers circle at the end of the race, like just working together and like being like, oh yeah, we're great, we're base, we're Giga Chat.
Sweet Giga Chat.
Yeah, bring on Donovan Sharp, okay? Let's go.
Why
Let's
she
go. We
happiness?
got this, guys. Women are terrible and fat and whales, and most women aren't good enough quality.
Which is conflict resolution, coming together, having peace, and understanding that the biggest thing is you coming together and unified, working towards a goal rather than just destroying it and tearing it apart. Because again, these, like, if you look at the two, right, what happens when a woman gets divorced? The probability for getting divorced in the next marriage is higher and higher and higher, right? They just keep on doing this because their legacy is failure. Their legacy is giving up. Their legacy is like, this is what I do. I just quit when things get hard.
I do, and it makes you not as able to attach. Because think about it, if you drink every day, you're gonna get used to alcohol. If you're sleeping with all these people, you're gonna get used to it.
Yeah.
No, doesn't work like that. It definitely doesn't work like that. But I'm going to add one thing. I feel like I think that MLD, after the public flogging that the internet has given him, I think he's the type of person that responds to that kind of thing positively. And what I mean by this is that there's a part of me that believes or that wants to believe that he has room for redemption. I don't know why, but yeah, I actually believe in giving people like second chances. So I do want to believe that he has room for redemption, but yeah, it doesn't work like that. The whole, if you drink too much, smoke too much, you get resistant, and then if you have sex too much, you get. I don't think it necessarily works like that. Bless me. All right, so we're going to cut this into bits. You guys check out the next video after this. I'm going to link it somewhere here. Here. There. I don't know. I don't know how to do things. Yeah, here. So check out you'll see something up there, like up here. All right, take care. Stay safe. Peace. Yup. I'm too lazy to edit the videos. Just in case you're thinking, oh, why is there no thumbnail? Why is it? I'm too lazy. I'm putting the bit less effort into making the videos for a while because yeah. All right, take care. Stay safe. Peace.